What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Predicting Tranquility. And unfortunately, as we come to the end of the regular season here in Tranquility, this will be the final Predicting Tranquility of the whole season. Um, so make sure to get your preds in if you are interested in the competition. I know I posted them very late this week. Um, so I'm sorry about that, but anybody who is interested in the competition, make sure get your preds in for one last run. Capital has not guaranteed the one seed yet. Um,
He's gonna try though.
he will very much try.
And
We'll
I'll be
see
going
what
for that.
happens when we get to the leaderboard.
And I'll be going for that dead last seed. So let's go.
And then in lieu of predicting tranquility, next week Troy and myself will be joining Bowsy on the Iris. We're gonna be doing bracketology, so that should be pretty fun. I don't know if he announced that on the Iris. I didn't watch the Iris, but there's the announcement if it was if it didn't come from Bowsy. So if you're new here to predicting tranquility, if this is somehow your first time, what we do here is we're going to talk about every single match. We're going to talk about every single team this week officially because the Discord tier has an actual elim pool set up. Um, so without further ado, let's just get straight in to the predictions. Starting with Harmony Orem A and B, where we have Ryan.
All right, starting off, we have Onigiri versus Paul's Champ. We have Nerf coming in to 2-3 with Paul's Champ, and both Dex and myself going for 3-1 and 3-2 for Onigiri. Next match, we have Geometric versus Strix. We have Dex and Nerf going 3-1 on Geometric side. Myself going 3-1 on the side of Strix, though. We have next match. We have Galactic Penguins versus Koala Kings. All of us, and I said that too early. Dex is saying Penguins are going to take a 3-1. Nerf and I saying 3-1. The other way of Koala Kings. And finally, going to the last one, we finally all kind of agree. We all think we're all on the Doodles train this time, going 3-1. Dex saying it's going to be a little bit closer with Clairvoyance. So we all have very interesting matches right here. I think out of all of these, the Onigiri Pause Champ is definitely the
Mm-hmm.
creme de la creme matchup in
Yep.
this one.
It's the battle for the undefeated. Battle for the one seed as well. There's a lot riding on this match. Um, I think Paul's Champ have shown themselves to be just insane at the game. Every single week they have completely like blown away my expectations, and I think that this will be the week that they get the one seed and prove all the haters wrong.
So yeah, I thought the complete opposite. Not that, but I thought Onigiri, it's time for them to step it
Hmm.
up and show exactly what they want. Paul's Champ is easy. I think it's not going to be an easy win, but I think Onigiri's going to take it off right from them.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way with that one right there. I feel like Onigiri is just the little bit of the better team at the moment. Paul's champ, while they've been very impressive so far, I feel like Onigiri is just a different level at the moment.
And I could see this. This is going to probably be one of those matches that's going to go 99-99. Everything's going to be down to overtime. It's going to be one of those one
Yeah.
missteps going to win the match.
Hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think it's gonna come down to a battle between Husky and Formless. I think that this is going to be a very big DPS battle, and I think another one to watch out for is the battle between SSS Forever and Stop You. I think that those are like those two matchups that I mentioned, very even. And I think it's going to come down to whoever is able to take control of the match early, and then just get their team some momentum. I think that that's gonna play a lot into who ends up taking this match. But it's going to be very close. This is a very exciting match to be watching. So,
So tune in. That's a Tuesday match, right?
mm-hmm.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's not the feature, but it is
I thought it
it's a
was a
match you
feature.
can watch. I don't. Does anybody on either one of these teams stream? I don't remember.
I don't remember, but
We'll
okay.
we'll find
I-
out.
Ignore me.
If you can watch it, that definitely would be one that I would recommend watching.
Yes.
If anybody from Fahrenheit is in chat, make sure to stream because it'll be very fun to watch.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think a lot of these takes are pretty reasonable. KK over or GP over KK is a little interesting. But GP did bounce back despite losing last week. They did have Doodles at 3-1 at one point. They did beat Doodles like at one point, but then they had to replay some maps. So unfortunately, the win does go to Doodles. Unfortunately for Penguins. Um, so I don't think that the KK take losing to GP is too terrible.
And Koala Kings playing down to their team? Never. That has never happened before.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe some momentum can come early for the Penguins. I know that they're thirsty for a win after going 0-2 this stage. Um. So yeah. But I think it's time we move then on to the C and D pools for Harmony. Take it away, Dex.
All right. So starting off here, we have Disclosant and Chrysalis. Um, I'm the only one that seems to ride high here on Chrysalis. I guess we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But then the next match is the Basement Dwellers and the Flashbacks. I'm the only one that's saying that the Basement Dwellers will at least be able to take a map. Then you have Insidious and the Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies. Look at that. We all picked the Rubber Duckies and we all picked the same ending. Congratulations to Insidious on your win right now. We just cursed the living hell out of the Rubber Duckies.
Surely.
Way to go, us. And then you have the Aimbots versus the Chicago Mafia. I'm the only one giving the Mafia some chance here. Everyone else riding high with the Aimbots. Okay, so which one do you guys want me to talk about first? Because I'm the only one who picked anything different.
I think the big one.
Well, okay. There's a little bit of
see.
bias from Ryan.
I know what you're talking about.
And then
Tell
I
me the
went with
bias, 'cause I don't
Disclosant.
know.
I went with Disclosant here 4-0 because I don't know, they've looked really strong against anybody who hasn't been like above them. And when they are playing a team who's above them, they get a 5. So Disclosant is like, they're 4-3, but I think that they're a team that has a lot of potential. So yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good explanation, excuse, reasoning. I just can't come up with one. Honestly, I'm gonna ride with Chrysalis here. I think they can at least prove you guys wrong, and hopefully prove me wrong right now by me trusting myself to stick with this.
They did
But
get a pretty big win against
Basement
the Basement
Dwellers.
Dollars last week. So
all right, then I'm gonna say they're riding high off that win.
See,
Thank you
yeah.
for giving me that excuse.
They have some very good veterans. They have good all-star players that are coming in there, so they have a very good roster. It's just, is it just coming into fruition now? They had a good middle of the season, kind of okay stage 2, cannot do good. So maybe they can turn it around and go right into the playoffs on a high note.
Yep. Yeah, they're a team that we are lacking a lot of footage on because they were in that Indigo 8 pool. So the early couple weeks for Chrysalis, we didn't really know a whole lot about them. So this is going to be like a pretty big match for them to prove themselves. A big win against Basement Dollars last week. So who knows? I think that they've beaten the teams they should have and lost to the teams they shouldn't have, or they should have lost to as well. So this could maybe be interesting.
Yeah.
Will not surprise me. But yeah. I think everything else on here is pretty standard. Mafia could get that sneaky win. I do like the Mafia pick because I've been rooting for them all stage.
Yeah, I thought the same. That one I honestly kept going back and forth because I didn't really know, because both teams I think are very even playing grounds for like what they've been doing all season. They both have really good times. They have really bad times, but you know, whoever steps up is going to get a little bit higher seed, a little bit easier schedule going to the playoffs. So it'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's move on though to the E pool and then my team. So all of us giving the 4-0 in favor of the Fighting Potatoes for the first match of the E pool, or 4-0 in favor of the Jersey Boys. Wow.
Congrats, potatoes.
Yep, free curse there. And then the next match a little bit more interesting. Scores all over the place. For Freya versus Plunderers. I went with the 3-1 in favor of the Plunderers. Ryan going 3-2, and then Dex going the other way with a 3-1 in favor of Freya, who have honestly they've been impressing and getting some quality matches recently. And then the first Elam Pool match is Luminous Foxes versus Swordfish. Of course, no bias for myself. Ryan going 3-1 in favor of the Swordfish, and Dex going 3-1 in favor of Foxes. That Freya match,
Mhm.
very interesting. I think this is a sneaky match because Freya have been improving a lot, and they've definitely shown that improvement. Plunderers have been kind of shaky. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking at the same time, where I think that Freya's been playing up, Plunderer's been playing down. I think it's going to be a
mhm.
very close match between them with that, because Freya is on the high. I think last week they did win, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, they played Plunder or they played
Fighting
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah, so they're
Yep.
coming off a win. So, and Pew Pew's coming off a 4-0 loss to Jersey Boy. So,
Mhm.
if whoever's riding the great coattails.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just to kind of echo what you guys have been saying, Freya's been kind of on the rise here lately, and Pew Pew Plunderers, like you guys said, kind of just stagnated out here with probably how good they've been playing at the moment. So I think the momentum that Freya's going to come into this game with is going to kind of carry them through it.
Mhm. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. The other two matches are, I think, pretty standard as well. I'll just touch on Swordfish really quickly because they're a sneaky team. They could definitely get this W.
That
Another one that we've lacked a lot of footage on, but they've
Mhm.
improved and impressed a ton in the VODs that we have on them.
Yeah, that's entirely what I was thinking. I remember going back to like week 1 and like thinking about the teams, and they were like one of the big unknown teams. I think it was them and
Mhm.
what mainline Mako
Yeah, Makos were also
Makos.
just because they were the week one match and they didn't play. They just
Mm-hmm.
both forfeited, or not
That,
both forfeited, but the match got forfeited.
but that's all I remember going back, and I remember I was like, they're
Mhm.
not good, but I think they are very sneakily a good team. That they're
Mhm.
they're just coming into it right now, and which is again a lot of the teams right now that I'm seeing that like weren't impressive in the beginning. They're definitely stepping up their game coming into stage 2. And I don't know if that's because now they're near teams that are the same skill level or whatnot, but I think they're a team that I can see going a little bit deeper in that lower pool bracket as
Mhm.
times are going. I think they're going to make a couple of upsets of people who've dropped down from the upper bracket, and I think they have actually a pretty good shot, win or lose after this match.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that's where both of these teams are at right now. Just looking to make some a pretty sneaky run in the lower bracket. Um, After improving a ton in the Elam pool. And speaking of the Elam pool, let's get to the rest of those matches. Let's take it away, Ryan.
All right, so starting off, we have Exhilaration versus Mets. We all are on the side of Exhilaration. Myself thinking it's going to go 3-2. Nerf a little bit closer, 3-1. And Dex saying 4-0 Exhilaration. Next match, we have the Council versus Ares. We have Nerf myself on the board with Ares. Dex saying, it's the Council's time to shine, giving a 3-1. Next match, we have the Late Night versus Colorado Carbon. All of us are on the side of Late Night, taking the win 3-1. And going into the last match, we have Positively Aggressive versus Eminence. We have Nerf myself giving 3-1 to Eminence. And Dex is on the Positively Aggressive train with a big old 4-0. So going into this, I think the one match to watch right here is going to be the first match, to be honest. The
Yeah.
Acceleration
Mhm.
versus Mets. Um,
Mhm.
I Mets, I think everyone's on the high, especially during the season. Everyone's on Mets games saying Mets are going to be very good. They haven't really
Mhm.
been shining too much, but they've been actually pulling things out, especially in the Elim pool, which I'm kind of happy that they have been. I'm happy
Mhm.
to see it. They're going to try sticking around. And right now, it's them and Exhilaration are both undefeated in Elim pool.
Mets just lost last week. I believe
Mets just
Exhilaration
lost.
are 2-0.
Okay. So it'll be very, very interesting, especially the Exhilaration. They're part of, I'm trying to remember exactly which ones. They have Adrenalines and
I think it's just the Adrenaline
is
org.
it just
Or maybe
Adrenalines?
Revitalize? I don't remember.
Mhm.
I can't remember. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's one of
I
their
think it's
teams' names.
Revitalized too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think someone in chat saying it's revitalized.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, all those teams I think are definitely. I mean, they've had a little bit of struggles throughout the season, but I think all of them are starting to really pick up as an organization as a whole. So I think this is
Hmm.
going to be a really good match, especially a point that either Acceleration or Mets can actually now prove themselves
Mhm.
and show. Especially Mets, I think has a lot more to prove over Acceleration right now.
Yeah, I think their whole revitalized org. And I mean this is gonna sound like bad, but I mean this in like the best way possible. They know how to lose. Um, just like when they do lose, it's always in five, and when they win, it's pretty big. Like I believe it was I think it was Adrenaline had like a negative match differential, but they were like +10 on maps. Like holy shit, that doesn't happen. So definitely they get the wins that they should, and when they get those wins, they get them big. I think that Mets can maybe take the escort map because their double sniper comp looks really good. That was the map they took against Luminous as well. But I think Exhilaration they've got their comp down. They know what they want to run, and I think that coordination and synergy should lead them to the victory here.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
can't remember right now. I think in this pool, it's what 4 teams moves on from the Elam
Hmm.
pool. I think 4 of the 8, and I think of them, I think the Council, Aries, Late Night, Colorado Carbon, Positive Aggressive, or Eminence, all those 3 matches, either way they go, can change the entire Elam pool who's making it through. I
Hmm.
think it's that close.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of close ones. I believe Swordfish, Luminous, and Exhilaration are like pretty much locked. But I think with map differential, there is a chance that all three of those teams could drop out. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of 1-1 teams. I think the only 0-2 teams are Eminence and Positively Aggressive. So,
Aries, I'm looking at
oh, Aries
Aries,
is also
Positive
2 now,
Aggressive,
0-2.
Eminence, and
Gotcha.
then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so I guess that would not necessarily mean that three teams are eliminated, but yeah, there's a lot still riding in this final week for pretty much all the teams to get into the champ, or not the champ bracket, the playoff bracket.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So lots to look out for. But that pretty much covers the entirety of the Harmony tier. So let's move on to Discord tier, where we have A and B. Take it away, Dex.
All right, with our first matchup here in the Discord tier, you have MI7 versus the Beat Drop Bears. Nerf, me and you are riding with the Beat Drop Bears here. Private Ryan, you're the only one going with MI7 here. I'm the only one saying it won't go the distance. Then next one you have Paradise Lost and the Cosmic Castaways. Again, congrats to the Paradise Lost on you guys' win. We cursed them. Again, sorry,
Woo!
Castaways. Then you have Space Created and Trig. Uh, you have Ryan, the only one riding with Trig here in a sweeping fashion as well. Me and Nerf both riding with Space Created. Myself sweeping. Nerf said that we'll see at least one map taken here by Space Created. And then final matchup here in this pool is the Wildcat Boys versus Pride. We're all rocking with those Wildcat Boys. I'm the only one saying it will go 5 though. Um, but I imagine just the biggest game in this pool here is probably that first one again, because those
Yeah.
probably by far the best 2 teams in this first pool here.
Yeah, these teams are great. And I've been a BDB doubter for far too long. Not even. I just wanted to see Paradise Lost get the win week 1, and then I wanted to see Cosmic Castaways get the win in week 2, and here I am. Um I love the Beat Drop Bears. It's just, I thought I wanted to be a little bit interesting the first 2 weeks. But they've been playing great. They beat up Castaways pretty bad at like towards the end of the series. And Castaways looked really really strong throughout the entire series. They've looked strong 2 weeks in a row. So I think Beat Drop Bears have proven a lot, and MI7 have slipped a little bit. So I think that they definitely have to reprove themselves against the Beat Drop Bears here if they want to be considered. Well, not be considered, because I think they still are within like the championship route. Like
Mhm.
they could definitely easily make it there. But if they want to prove to the world that they definitely deserve to be there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm really hoping that with mine, I think MS7 they have a chip on their shoulder, so I really hope that they're going to use that chip on their shoulder. The loss of Space Graded, the close loss of Paradise Lost, which I don't think any of us could have thought it was going to be that close.
Mhm.
And then I really hope that they're going to come in this a chip on their shoulder and prove, hey, there's a reason we're the number one or the number two team right here, and either
Mhm.
give it to beat Drop Bears or take it as close as they can to them.
Yep. So I wanted to touch on this really quick. Gosh. Ryan, 4-0 for Space Created. That's big.
Yeah,
Um,
I had reasons for this. Trying to remember exactly why.
Speak
check
on.
out the notes.
I'm trying to pull up the notes and make sure. um yeah, I'm trying to exactly remember why. Oh, so the reason was that I was thinking about that with the 4-0 was Trig themselves. I I was kind of thinking about it, and a lot of times I've seen the Trig, I've seen Geo, I've seen some of those teams like that. They get into a comfortable spot right now.
Mhm.
So especially coming off a 4-0 victory versus Pride and Space Graded, they came out with a loss very close to Wildcat Boys this week
Mhm.
right now. So I've been seeing it from the beginning going up that every single week as time has gone by, Space Graded's gotten better, better, better. And Trigonometric has definitely fumbled the time, especially when it was their time to shine, the time that they're supposed to do it. So I think especially with how Space Gray has been growing and in the past how Trig has kind of fumbled everything down, I think this is the time for Space Created to now step it up and kind of push it into Trigonometric this week. That was exactly what I was thinking this week, and I mean I could be wrong. Again, I'm always happy to be wrong, but I definitely can see Space Created picking it up and moving it into and Trigonometry having that slip that they've had in the past before.
Definitely valid. I
Yeah.
mentioned that last week when we were talking about, I believe it was Trig versus Pride. That they do sometimes get a little comfy and then they drop a match here and there. But I think every time what they've proven is when they do drop a match, they come back way improved the next week. And they
Yes.
just look so much better than ever before. Um so I'm on the Trig hype train right now. And I think that they're gonna be a scary team coming into the playoffs. Um but we will have to wait and see for that. There's definitely one that they're gonna want to have get under their belt beforehand though, so definitely watching out for that. But without further ado, that pretty much covers everything here for A and B pools. Let's move on to C and D, where
Yeah.
we got Reminiscence versus Loki. All of us going in favor of Reminiscence there. Ryan giving Loki a map. The next one is Avalon versus Phoenix. Myself and Ryan going in favor of Avalon here. However, Dex giving a map 5 banger to Phoenix here. Then the first D pool match is Maelstrom versus the SEAL Team Spuds. This pool is all over the place, man. Um,
Yeah, it is.
D pool's crazy.
What?
Myself and
It
No.
is out there.
Sylvan Dex are going 3-1 in favor of Maelstrom. Ryan going for a map 5 in favor of the Spuds. And then Pukin Dogs versus Redacted. I went 3-2 in favor of Pukin Dogs. Dex went 4-0 in favor of Redacted. Ryan went 3-1 in favor of Redacted. The D pool makes my brain hurt. Oh,
There's always got to be one pool.
there does. And for a while we didn't have it. For a while it was just like, oh, okay, that much makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty standard. And
Well,
then this, where all these teams are sitting at 1-1 right now.
well, every team heard that this was gonna be the final week, so last week they made sure to at least give us one
Wait, hold
one
on.
really,
We're
really
2 and
weird pool.
0. Redacted's 2 and 0 right now.
Redacted or 2? Yeah.
Excuse you.
It's just I did not expect Redacted to be 2-0. I did not expect Redacted to get the win against Maelstrom. I thought definitely they could have gotten the win against Spuds. I believe Spuds are 0-2 here. But there's map 5s left and right. The upsets like all over the place. Maelstrom will lose to Redacted, who a lot of people predicted to be the worst team in this pool. Then the next week they're up beating up the Pukin Dogs, who everybody expected to be the best team in this pool, and Redacted are on top. And I think that like Silver Slander had Redacted bottom 3 in their original power rankings. Like this is all over the place.
Yep.
Ooh.
The one thing which I have to keep a little close ties on. Do you see all the changes in the rosters though? Which I think is interesting. The look
Mm-hmm.
free everything. So Maelstrom's having issues with that. Puking Dogs having issues with that.
Mm-hmm.
SEAL Team, I will say, out of all of it, from facing people, SEAL Team looked good.
Hmm.
They came out here. They surprised me a lot by how
Mm-hmm.
well and how coordinated of a team they actually were. Um, so like they actually very much impressed me. Like
Mm-hmm.
they have been looking good, especially going into the championship bracket and pulling in things. Not the championship bracket, the playoffs. Like they're gonna look good in that lower bracket, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that. Maelstrom and Puking Dogs, they just worry me with the roster changes that are happening right now.
Definitely
Hmm.
fair. I can't make sense of the deep pool.
You're not supposed to.
No, you're not.
No.
I mean, like I'm only picking Redacted to go or sweep them here, just because I feel like there's a surprising team right now. Like they're not where they should be. It sounds like based off what Ryan just said that there's a lot of teams in this D pool that are kind of in panic mode trying to figure out what's going wrong.
Yeah.
So
So,
I'm
and we haven't yet played with our full roster. Like it's we've always been down like a key person for the match, so it's been very
Oh.
interesting.
All right.
Like first match I wasn't there, so they didn't have the IGL. Second match we were missing one of our lead DPSs. So it's been fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
that's a
We haven't
weird
even
way to
seen
say
Redacted at full
fun.
power. Wow. Yeah, a lot to look out for this final week of this pool. Um, I don't get these teams.
You're not supposed to.
Nope.
Welcome to stage 2.
Never was ever
Well,
supposed to.
welcome to hell.
Yep.
Basically.
um, we should go on to something that makes a little bit more sense. And I take that back because it's Thunder Duckies, it's Adrenalines, and it's Tempest. Um, what do we have here, Ryan?
All right, so going in, we have Royal Throne and the Thunder Duckies. All of us are on board with the Thunder Ducky train. Myself thinking it's going to go a little bit closer with a 3-2. Both you guys going with a 3-1 for Thunder Duckies. And then we have Tempest versus Adrenaline. Or I should say, Dex and I think it's going to go the Adrenaline side. Nerf saying it's going to be a very close 3-2 to Tempest.
I did.
Yeah,
I
you did.
did.
Yeah, you
I
did.
did.
You did.
Yes.
Do you want to
Yes.
change what you said?
No.
Nerf's just so confused right now, just on everything that's going on with these pools.
I mean, yes, I did say that. I did say that they would win in 5. I'm a Tempest fan. I just, I didn't see them winning this match until apparently right now. Um, you know, oh, I know what I did.
Go
I know
ahead.
what I know what I did. Hold on, give me 1 second.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it should look like that. Oh,
Oh, are we flipped? Wait, did we?
yep.
Wait, what?
Wait, did we both say Tempest?
Wait,
Hold
what?
on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Screw it. I'm riding with Tempest. I'm riding with Tempest. I don't care. I'm riding
That's why
with
that
them.
felt wrong. I had to go
Oh
back and
god.
check. I like I was saying, I'm a Tempest fan. I want to see them do good. But Adrenaline have impressed me. They were the team that's like plus 10 map differential with like more games lost than won. Like, whoa. That blows me away that that was at one point a statistic. Um, so but I think Tempest have also been improving, so definitely don't count them out yet. These are two teams that I think you should definitely pay attention to because they're very close, I think. Um, but yeah, this is 2 pools now back to back that just ugh, I can't make sense of them. I can make more sense of this than Discord D pool, but wow, because these are all the teams that like to go to 5, and
Mhm.
then Royal Throne's in there, and Royal Throne are just like I don't know, they'll take Castaways to 5 in OCAC, and then they'll lose to Culture in this tournament. That didn't happen, I don't think, but you know,
No, I don't think
Not
it
yet, at
happened.
I don't think it happened,
No, I think
but
Culture lost out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so let's go to Elam Pool, which hopefully makes a little bit more sense. I don't know why it looks like that, but
All right.
yeah, let's take it away, Ryan.
All
Or sorry,
right.
I think this is this
I'll go
Dex?
with it. I'll go
Yeah.
with it.
Okay. Sure.
So
Okay.
going in there, we have Jellyfish versus Poseidon. We have Dex and Nerf going both on the side of Jellyfish. Myself going with Poseidon, but Nerf and I going. It's going to be a really close match. Next, we have UV Rays versus Air. We have again Nerf and Dex going on the side of Air. Myself going on the side of UV Rays. Next we have Wildfire versus the Wildwind. All of us on the fire are on the side of Wildwind with a 3-1 victory. And the last match we have Culture versus Tampa Bay Tryhards. We have Dex myself giving it to Culture and Nerf saying Tampa Bay Tryhards are going to finally come out on top with a 3-1.
I fixed it. I fixed the
Uh,
logos. I don't know why
quick,
they were bad.
quick congrats to the Wild Winds. We cursed the
Uh,
wildfire. We've done it 3 times this week.
It's a
So
wild
that's
match.
that's just a lot though that we've only like agreed down to the score line 3 times this week. I think this is a very close week. We saved all the bangers for week 3, and there were like 8 map 5s last week in Discord tier. So
Mhm.
you know, definitely another great week of tranquility coming up.
I will say, let's see, in this one, I'm very happy to see that Jellyfish and Poseidon are kicking it to the top of the Elam pool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Poseidon's been around for a little bit. Again, I will never say anything bad about
Um,
Poseidon themselves, but I mean, they've been around, they've stuck around, they've had some very tough seasons in Trank, but they've proven themselves that they are one of those teams that can keep winning or that will keep coming back and they will keep playing. And I think they've taken some matches very close. And with
mm-hmm.
Jellyfish themselves, I mean, they struggled a little bit during the group stages, but they've definitely being in the Elim pool have shown that they can start pulling it back up together.
Mhm.
I mean, I can't say anything. We lost against them week 1, so.
Well,
To the
uh,
people in chat talking about this slide, it's broken. I don't know what I did. But
it's trying to mentally recover after the last 2 pools.
yeah, I mean the pictures were broken. The logos were all like out of frame. Now it says UV rays versus error. When it's jellyfish versus Poseidon, and I know for a fact those aren't their records. Don't know what's going on with this slide. I'll have to
I
have to
think
take it
I
to the
think
lab afterwards.
you might see something different. The stream looks okay.
Yeah, stream looks fine now.
No, logos were
Yeah, logos are
fixed.
still wrong,
Why
but
I for
the name's corrected.
sure saw somebody talking about it. Anyways,
Oh, got it. Now it's a
well, 2 people talking about it.
um either way. I
So,
think I think right now and the second one out of this group because I think it's the same way that 4 teams are going to make it on and 4 teams are not
Hmm.
out of this one.
uh, yep,
And I think culture and actually no. This actually is very much anyone's game right now. So if
really.
you're looking at the third and lower, you have one map score of 1, 1, -1, -2, -3, -4. So any of those teams with wins and losses can give them a 1-1 with a map win differential.
Mhm.
So it's
Hmm.
going to be a very interesting elim pool, and a lot of they're going to be sad to say bye to a couple teams, but this is a couple times that if in anything they're going to have to pick it up. It's final week,
Mhm.
it's do or die.
Yep. And with UV rays playing air, that means that the winner of that match will lock up an Elam pool spot or a Elam bracket spot. Same with the winner of Jellyfish versus Poseidon. But everything else is up for grabs. So
Mhm.
could be anyone's game for the rest of these matches.
And it's and then whoever Wild Win and or Wildfire and Wild Wind, whoever wins that, the winner's in, the loser's out.
Yep. Oh yeah,
Yep.
that is true. Yep.
Yep.
So
No matter
we'll
how it
have
Interesting.
goes, nope. No matter how if it goes to map 5 or not, the winner's in, the loser's out.
Big
same.
match
Yep.
there
Same
for
with
those two.
same with Air Race, and then oh, not necessarily. Maybe. Hmm.
Not necessarily, but it's very close.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. So that's three automatically decided right there. Um, and then it all comes down to whether or not the loser of Jellyfish Poseidon still makes it in, or if somebody is able to dethrone them with map differential. We will have to see.
Hmm.
So, very interesting Discord Elim pool. But let's take it to the trans tier now. Hopefully slides are not as cursed as last time.
Hopefully things make sense because
Yes.
because Transpool never confuses anyone.
Oh my
Mm-mm.
god.
Nope. And here we start off with two curses. So the first match is Boomers versus Gangsters. We have all of us in favor of the Gangsters here, then all of us in favor of Amnesia here. All of those scorelines going 3-1. Then this last match is Devil Dukes versus Singularity. Myself and Ryan going 3-1 in favor of the Dukes here, and Dex giving the win here to Singularity, although he will be close.
Mhm. Yeah, the Devil Duke Singularity one was definitely one of those ones. There were a couple that I had last week where it was, I think these two teams are very evenly matched. I think they both play
Mhm.
really well. And I really think it just comes down to a map 5, and it was essentially a coin flip for me. Like, I
Yeah.
could see Devil Dukes winning this series. I could see Singularity winning this series. I just think there's gonna be one like incredible either solo play or team play that's really gonna decide it on that fifth map, and I think it's gonna be Singularity.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really had a hard time because I actually kept flip flopping who I thought was gonna win the entire time with that because I've been on that Singularity hype train a lot, and I think Devil Dukes being 0-2 right now is probably a very big surprise,
Yeah.
especially in that I don't think anyone would have thought the Devil Dukes would have been down 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be no matter what. No matter what it is, it's gonna be a close match.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
either that or one of the teams are gonna get boomed, and then Transcendence tier things happen.
yeah. But
Both
before
teams that are struggling. Yeah, you go Dex.
I was gonna say before we change slides here, congrats to Amnesia and the Billings Boomers. I mean, my bad, the Wyverns and the Billings Boomers.
Woo!
Congrats. Good luck beating your
They,
teams.
I could see Wyverns. They already pulled out the win against Amnesia. And Amnesia did beat Boomers to give them their first loss last week. But I could definitely see it happening. So yeah, you never know. I would never say, well, besides Gangsters, unless they're against Devil Dukes. I would say every other match besides that is pretty up for grabs. So, um, yeah, let's go to Azure, and we've been, or not Azure, BNC, um, where Dex we've been skipping you for a while, so
Yep.
go ahead, take it away here.
All right, first one here in the B pool is the Fleet Angels versus Hammerhead. Nerf, me and you rocking with the Fleet Angels. Ryan, the only one to go with Hammerhead here. Then you have Reckless Delta versus the Hive Mind Halophites. All of us going with Hive Mind here. None of us having the same scoreline though. Each think this is gonna be a much different game. And then you have Just Better Ink or Throwing or Bad. And yet again, it's the sixth time this week that we've all picked the same score line and the same team.
Woo.
So this pool is close out of
hmm
all of it. It's so close. All the teams right now have been playing pretty crazy. I think surprising about how many teams have actually come to the top of this.
hmm
Or I should say, sorry, because this is B pool and C pool combo,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah.
hmm
I've been impressed, especially with how the Fleet Angels have been doing. I've been
Yeah.
impressed, especially how Hammerhead's been doing,
hmm
and I've been very impressed with how Reckless Delta's been doing out of all these
hmm
teams. Um, I think out of all those three, I think are even though the two other things, Hammerhead I think has been very sneakily being good. I don't think they're talked about too much. I think when we have talked about them, we've been like, they're kind of middle of the pack. But I think
Mm.
they've been actually playing very well
Mhm.
this, this group stage.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
like I have to kind of agree with you there. Like I'm only really going with the Fleet Angels in this one because I've been able to actually see them play this season so far. I have not seen Hammerhead play. I'm saying it's going 5 maps, but again, because I've seen Fleet Angels play and not Hammerhead, I think Fleet Angels will end up taking it. That's probably the only reason I'm giving for my prediction there.
yeah, no, they've been. I think I said at the beginning. I think the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, Fleet Angels. They had a really rocky start, if I remember correctly. But
Mhm.
then as the time has gone by, I think they've been proving themselves more and more and more. I think they're missing a couple key players that are now there, if I remember correctly.
I think so. Yeah.
So, so it definitely could be. I mean, they're definitely looking better and better.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep. Lots of great matches among this pool or these pools, I guess.
Mhm.
So let's get to the final pool, which is the Trans Elim pool. Ryan.
And me. So starting off, we have Hades versus Nightmare Outlaws. Nerf and I giving the 3-1 victory to Hades. Dex over here saying the Outlaws are going to take it out with a 3-1. Revital Oath, we all are in agreement that Revital's going to win for nothing against Oath. And coming to the last match, we have Nerf and Dex giving the win to Frost Nova. Myself giving 4-0 to Classified, because who knows why I would ever do that. Um, so the one that I will say right now, so I think between that Classified Frost Nova, I think the winner of that match is the one that moves on. The other one's out. So, and I
Yeah.
think especially how it is, I'm trying to remember exactly. It is, I think they have to both 4-0 or something like that, or,
I
or
see
one of
that.
them has either one of them has to 4-0 or one of them doesn't. I'm trying to remember exactly what it is to get in. No, sorry. Classified needs to 4-0 Frost Nova to make it in.
Hmm.
I think is what it is. Because if
Mhm.
they 4-0 Frost Nova, then they have a better map differential. Same thing. Or Revital, loses 4-0 to Oath as well. Could also happen.
Hmm. um. Yeah. I'm pretty sold on my takes here. I think Nightmare Outlaws could take Hades the distance. But I think Oath. If this were organized the way that like typically a Swiss tournament would be, we would have seen Frost Nova versus Revital this week because they're 1-1, and then Oath Classified because they're both 0-2.
Mhm.
But since we've seen both of those matchups already, we switched up a little bit. So um
I was wondering why that's flip flopped.
yeah, I had to ask Yeti about that because I wasn't too sure. So since they're flip flopped, definitely makes the playoff implications a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots to pay attention to in the Sealand pool. Um, but I think that is all the matches. So for the final time this season, not the final time ever, or this, not the final time this season, but the final time live this season, we're gonna go through the top 8 or the top 5. So for this week, the fifth place was myself, 47 points. Keep in mind that everybody did get a 5-point bump because there wasn't a Discord Elim pool. So, you fill out a single Discord match and I gave you the bump. In third place is a tie between Toxic and Tubit, both 48 points. Second place is Cam with 49. And the king himself, reigning supreme, capital at number 1. Oh, I didn't even hide anything here for the all-time scores, but yeah, nothing even changed. I didn't hide anything, but it doesn't matter because there are absolutely no surprises here. Everything is the exact same. So, yeah, Capital taking, absolutely running away with it. There is one more week still, so if you are interested and you're one of the people towards the top, you can definitely still potentially dethrone him. Who knows? Maybe he won't fill out his preds this week.
That's what I was gonna say. He could just not fill out his preds and Fish, come along and let's win it.
That's what happened to Fish. Fish forgot to fill out 1 week,
Ooh.
and yep, now he's in second. So yeah, that was for the last time this season predicting Tranquility. And as I said, myself, Troy, Bowsy, and the fourth person will be on the Iris next week doing bracketology. So we will still get to see some more predictions, just not in the same format.
I'm just excited to see Bowser do a lot of math. I
Mhm.
love seeing Bowser do statistics, especially the statistics on all of this, and him just
Yep.
finally just throwing it up in the air. The papers just like, I don't know anything.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go with them. I like them.
So for things to watch the rest of the week, we have on tomorrow we have the Harmony 2 feature Jersey Boys versus the Fighting Potatoes. And then immediately after we have Silver Slander. On Wednesday we have Trans-tier feature Guangzhou Gangsters versus the Billings Boomers. That's a sick match. Pay attention to that one. Thursday we have Avalon versus Phoenix, one that could be very sneakily good. I think Phoenix is a kind of underrated team. So pay attention to that one as well. Saturday's Bronze Banter will be returning, I believe, this week. We had some people who were not able to make it this week, so we had to cancel. But this week, hopefully, we'll have enough members. And then I don't know. After Scrims Night with Lord Thuggington, I don't know if he's gonna be using that block. It's been unfortunately we haven't been able to do a whole ton of that. But who knows? Maybe we will see his return.
Hopefully.
But with everything out of the way, that is officially the last Predicting Tranquility of Season 10. So thank you guys all so much for watching throughout the entire season. I'll be back for at least one more cast, and then I'll be there for Bronze Banter and stuff. But so we're not going anywhere. But thank you all for watching this show throughout the entire season. And as always, we'll see you next time. Later.
Bye.